Alright, we're continuing our tour of the Shark Tuner software, now looking at the ignition parameter page. These are the basic EZK settings, and we can do some initial fiddling here if we want to, which I would suggest. The retard step, the amount that the EZK will retard the ignition when a small knock is detected, is set up here in the knock control, and normally takes it down in 3-degree steps, particularly for tuning. And in general, if we're keeping an eye on things, we'd like this to be a smaller step so we get a little more indication of exactly what's going on. And I typically knock it down to 1.1, and then the recovery time follows that. You can change it separately if you want to, but 3.7 second recovery is just fine. So what that means is if we do pick up a knock, with the acoustic sensors, we'll take out a degree or 1.1 degrees at a time, and then with a delay time of about 3 seconds, it'll start putting it back in. The next set of boxes is for transient conditions. This is how much to retard the throttle when you do a quick throttle opening from idle, or after deceleration, or if you're cruising and you have a sudden increase of load. And generally these are about twice as large as they need to be. So we're going to knock these down to about half of their current value, 3 degrees, 6 degrees, 3 degrees for this. But keep an eye on it, and if you start picking up transient knocks when you open the throttle, then add a little bit back in, a degree or two at a time. And the last one, max advance increase rate per spark, that just determines how fast the EZK will advance ignition after a retard. And we've made the retard smaller. We'll generally leave this alone at about 1 degree per spark. There's another setting down here for whether we want to use the cruise map also at wide open throttle. The EZK, when we look at the maps, you'll see we'll have both a wide open throttle map that's separate from the main ignition map. And there's really no reason to try to use both. Factory did that, I think, for convenience and also to deal with production tolerances. But since we're going to be tuning this car, it's much simpler if we just stick to one main ignition map. So I'm going to check that little guy for now. And then we're going to go on and talk about the ignition maps.